I am here with actor Daniel Cosgrove, who many daytime fans will remember from his three roles in daytime. He's currently playing Aiden on Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
But nighttime fans will remember him surely as Kelly's boyfriend from 90210.
Matt Durning.
Yeah, Matt Durning.
Yes.
Why don't you talk a little bit about when you first started to want to pursue acting as a full-time career?
When I first started to want to pursue acting, I think first, like many people, you're first a fan of story. You're a fan of whether that's just in all forms, a book, a movie, a TV, or a play, and just being lost in that. And I think that always was it was so intriguing. So it begins as a fan, but it wasn't until my young 20s when I moved to New York to pursue it as a career.
Mm-hmm. And when you got to New York, what was the first role you booked?
The first role I booked was Scott Chandler on All My Children, circa October '96.
I was going to say 96. Yeah.
Yeah. We were shot. We were. And I believe we were filming the Thanksgiving episode, and it was back in the day where if you were replacing another actor or you're coming out, they would do a voiceover. So I remember coming out, and they would. But before I did, we blocked the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming out. And you're going to do a big Thanksgiving. There's going to be a lot of characters from All My Children come out, and then they're about to do the countdown, and then when the stage manager stopped it and said, "Hey, Daniel, we're going to have to actually change that. You're going to come out by yourself. Gives the voiceover time to introduce you." Okay. So I said, "What do? I just walk out and go?" And I didn't know what to do, so I walk out, and I didn't know what to do, so I just ad-libbed the line. I ad-libbed, "Looks like Myrtle made her famous stuffing again," and to Tad and Gloria over there, and they kept it and they did the voiceover. So yeah, my first line I think was an ad-lib.
That's funny.
I remember.
Did it put you off a little bit, or did it make you more confident that they stuck with it?
This was back in '96 when we worked on it, so I didn't have any confidence until around 2012-ish.
Seriously?
No.
I was going to say, you had many a role after that.
You just never know.
Yeah.
A great thing about daytime is, and I'm going to ramble, and you can cut out whatever you like. But one of the great things about daytime is it is a great starting ground for a lot of people to get into the business. You get your foot in the door, and a lot of people have got their foot in the door, so to speak, through a daytime show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who have gotten onto a daytime show and have been able to stay there for decades. And there are a lot of people who've maybe done other things and then had an opportunity to get on a daytime show and stay there. So at every different phase of a career, if you're fortunate enough, you can get a role on a show, and it brings you a sense of stability.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not so much anymore.
No.
But so I started off in daytime as learning, fantastic learning experience, being thrown into the fire,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you were never sure of, oh my gosh, am I going to get thrown in the well next week, or are they going to, we're going to keep me? But I've been able to stick it out on every show I've been on.
Yeah, and it's been 3 and the primetime role.
It's been All My Children a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
Guiding Light a couple times. World Turns, I joined, but they had already been canceled, so I joined to just fulfill. It was 6 months. It was a 6-month thing because they had already been canceled. So, so this is actually my fourth daytime.
Fourth daytime, so yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon the
No, that's
wrong
all right.
info.
That's all right.
I thought you were on As the World Turns as well.
That was it was just the end there. I don't really think of it.
As a
Yeah.
So what are the main differences between working in primetime and daytime, other than the speed of which you tape?
Differences between primetime and a daytime show. You just mentioned speed. That's a big part of it. We film, say, on Days of Our Lives is one of the fastest shows that I think that I've been a part of. because it seems as if I said this earlier. It seems as though every year they find a way to kind of to speed it up a little bit, and so we do about 8-9 shows a week in a 5-day period. Now, a primetime show typically, I suppose, is a 7-day schedule, 8-day, maybe 7-day schedule. So you're doing 2, 3, 4 pages maybe in a day. We do maybe 2, 3 shows, in a day, which is you can have 60 pages of dialogue, and it wouldn't be that uncommon. So it's definitely a faster pace, and if you're on a show long enough, you could play every type of role you thought you would like to play in your career, and you could do a comedy, you can do a serious drama, you can be the psycho killer, you could be the the Mr. Suave. On a daytime show, that's just a story arc. That's
2 weeks.
That's the month of November sweeps.
Right.
So it's a fast pace, and then sometimes the flow will change, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. That's for sure.
What was it like going from daytime, where you had a very loyal fan base, to 90210, which also had a very loyal fan base? Did you have crossover, obviously, between fans and that kind of thing?
My first show ever being All My Children 96, 98, so I was very new, and I was not a front burner, as they say it, so it was definitely a learning experience, and there was a learning curve, I suppose, there. But and then going on to a prime time show, the same genre, sort of, right? But just they say daytime, prime time, whatever. But that was a fantastic experience on 90210. It had a 10-year run. I joined in the 9th season and the 10th season there, and that was just a fantastic experience, working with all those people, actors and everything, and you just realized that even to this day, people are catching it on reruns. People are saying, "Oh my God, where did you go to college?" Oh my, Matt Durning, and so a show that was in, again, 9th, 10th season, and people still followed it throughout, and it had a big following, and it had a very a diverse following as well. So it's from working in daytime, prime time, and all those sort of couple films peppered in there. Whatever the demographic is, or whatever, people kind of recognize you from that, but there is a crossover in that, but it almost seems as though it's almost like these different demographics that kind of say, "Oh, wait a minute, I remember you from All My Children," or the people who say, "Oh, I knew you from 90210."
And, well, that's partially because you look almost exactly the same as when you started on All My Children.
You're very kind. I use a lot of oil of Olay, so thank you. No,
You'll get free soap now for life.
I have a lot of makeup on. No. The age, you can't fight the hands of time, and you can try to do what you want to do, but I'm showing my my years, that's for sure. But yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's starting out in the business now from when you started out? It's obviously different than people starting today. It's a lot more
in the business.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive today. And
I suppose, right? But there's so many different. It's so different now than it was with how people kind of can self-promote. You promote yourself nowadays through YouTube. You promote yourself through Twitter. And so you can get yourself out there. So it's definitely a different game, and there are so many different ways to get your foot in the door and to get into the business. But you know, the heart of everything. I think. See, I don't have it. I moved to New York to pursue theater, and that's what brought me to New York, and that's what I thought I'd pursue. But I ended up getting a job early on a daytime show, and that just kind of kept me busy, and it brought me out to California and moved. So I have advice is just stay positive, stay open-minded. I will actually tell a quick little thing. My first audition ever for a professional show was on Guiding Light.
Okay.
And I went in there, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Whenever I walked in, I do this audition, I read with a casting person, and I feel good about it. And I leave, and I was like, oh yeah, did everything I wanted to do. I did it. I did that. I did this and that. Left. My agent gets feedback, and they say, oh, just calling, you know, how did he do? Oh yes. Oh, I remember. He's very, you know, very nice and very. He was very rushed, very this, very. He seemed like he wasn't connected to it, and everything that I thought I was doing was not coming across. And I just took. I remember that it was Betty Ray was the casting person over there at Guiding Light. And she had all this feedback that here I was thinking I was going to come in and manipulate this scene and do it the way I didn't. I wasn't listening, and I took that advice, and I think that was actually that really helped me 5 auditions later get the role of Scott Chandler.
Yeah, and then end up on Guiding Light eventually.
Yeah, and that's what it is: taking criticism and doing what you can with it.
Perfect. Daniel, I thank you so much for this interview. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
I appreciate it.